السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد. So my dear respected brothers, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the Quran show that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to be known before that we worship him. Because all the first surah of the Quran that were revealed in Mecca are talking about the greatness of Allah, who is Allah, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. This kind of surah. Before talking about salah, before Allah is saying wa aqimus salah, or before talking about hajj, or before talking about any ibadah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first of all is talking about himself, because he wanted us to know him before worshipping him. This is why it's very interesting to see how the Quran was revealed. You see, it's miraculous how the Quran was revealed. So to know Allah, even we have also his 99 names, the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there is other names that we don't know. And the hadith say that there is other name that we don't know. And the ulama is saying that the 99 names of Allah is only the names of our relationship with Allah. It's not like Allah himself. Just our relationship with Allah. Ash-Shafi is the one who cures us. Al-Muhyi is the one who gives us life. Al-Razak is the one who gives us sustenance. Al-Mumit is the one who gives us death. So this is only between us and Allah. So who is Allah? That's going to be discovered for people, inshallah, that we're going to be among them that going to enter in Jannah. They're going to know who is Allah. They're going to discover who really is Allah, and they're going to forget about Jannah. Completely, they're going to forget about Jannah. And one of his name is Al-Qahar. Al-Qahar means what Allah wants is dominating what you want. The choice of Allah on your life is above your own choice on your life. And this is from the birth. Nobody has chosen the day you're going to birth. Nobody has chosen the way you're going to birth. And nobody never choose how he's going to birth, how he's going to be, how his body going to be, how his eyes going to be, how his face going to be. There is no human being who make that choice. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, هُوَ الَّذِي يُصَوِّرُكُمْ فِي الْأَرْحَامِ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. Is the one who made the choice. Are you going to be tall? Are you going to be short? Are you going to be fat? Are you going to be skinny? Are you going to be black? Are you going to be white? You see two people, they are really black. But the king is like closer to white. You see, really closer to white. That happened because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who chose. We never made that choice. Nobody made that choice. How going to be your voice? How going to be your head? How going to be your ears? What going to be the colors of your eyes? This is all the choice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from every human being since Adam alayhi salam until today. This is the qudrat of Allah. And also this body, we have no choice on how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to run this body. You see how Allah is making the brain function, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making the eyes function. This is all under the control of Allah. You take the digestion. When you eat something, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just put a small problem in the way you're going to digest the food, so that's finished. You become sick. You don't choose when you're going to be sick. You don't choose when you're going to be cured. You don't choose any of that. This is the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla wa ala on the human being. He has no choice. We have no choice. And our destiny also, we have no choice. So many times you make a plan and you're going to see that you get sick, or you're going to see that this plan is never going to happen. You try everything. You have all the means, but you cannot be successful in your plan. For example, when I was small, when I was kids, at school we had a competition. We have a running competition. You see, we were running. And at the training, we made the training more than 5 or 6 times, I don't remember. But always I was the first. Always I was the first. Like everybody was saying, the day of the competition, he's going to win, for sure, for sure. And the day of the competition, I got sick. The day of the competition, I got sick. So who is planning? It's the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you see our life, you see that all the choices in our lives is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Watch Firaun, when the people told him that a baby gonna born, and this baby gonna be the mean to destroy your kingdom. So what Firaun said? Okay, I'm gonna kill all the baby, the male baby. I'm gonna kill all of them. So after they told him, but you're destroying the population, there will be no more men. He said, okay, one day I'm gonna leave them, 1 year I'm gonna leave them, and 1 year I'm gonna kill them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he made Musa alayhi salam born the year Firaun was killing them. It's not the year that he lived them. No, the year Firaun was killing them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Musa alayhi salam born. And this same Firaun was the one who feeds Musa alayhi salam, who give clothes to Musa alayhi salam, who give money so Musa alayhi salam can be fed, can be educated. Musa alayhi salam, he grew up in the palace of the same Firaun. So look at how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Jalla wa ala is planning. So all the life, there is no human being, no matter what is your money, no matter what is your social position, that is not under the choice, under the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-Qahar. You just take all the humanity, with all the scientists, with all the technology that we have, you say, okay, this year in Canada, the goal is no winter. We cannot, because it's the choice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, this year no rain, or this year it's gonna rain. It's not our choice. So look at how the human being is weak. How the human being is weak. We're really weak. Nobody can fight against the fact to get old. Everybody is getting old. Even he doesn't want, but he's gonna get old. Nobody can fight against the date. Everybody gonna die. You make all projects. You make a long project, a business plan, but 2-3 days after, or 2-3 weeks after, he's gonna pass away. So this is the choice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala under earth. And so the human being from his birth to his death is under the choice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the universe also under the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, under the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Masha Allahu kan, what Allah wish, that's going to happen. Wa ma lam yasha lam yakun. But that is what is not wishing is never going to be happen. What we wish, probably it's happened, sometimes it doesn't happen. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it always happen. And Allah created this universe, and Allah created a world of means. A world of means. When I said a world of means, you want money, you got to work, for example, or maybe any rentance. It's not going to come from the sky. You want to get cured, you take medicines, or sometimes also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure you without medicines, because that person was making dua. How many people we know like this? When the doctor say it's finished for him, you cannot get cured, we give you a few days, and the guy turned towards Allah, Ya Allah, there is only you. He had to do that from the beginning. He had to do that from the beginning. From the first beginning, we turn towards Allah. But as human beings, we are weak, and the iman is weak sometimes. So when the case are desperate, we turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many people we know, they turn towards Allah, they go back to the medicine, and they make the diagnostic, they don't find anything. They say, where the virus has gone? We don't understand. How many people we know like this? So Allah is controlling this world of mean. In the hadith sahih, the Prophet Yusha alayhi salam is the one who was with Musa alayhi salam in Surah Al-Kahf. Is this kid that is taking care of the fish. So Yusha alayhi salam, he was making qital in Jerusalem. In Jerusalem. So it's not that far away, you know. We think that is far story, Asatirul as Awalin. No, it's not that far away. He was making qital in the same Jerusalem. He was fighting the enemies of Islam in Jerusalem, and he saw that he was going to miss Salatul Asr. He saw that he was going to miss Salatul Asr. So he made dua, and the hadith is sahih. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stopped the sun for him. The sun stopped. And then when he finished his salat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the sun go again. So all this system is under the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Jalla wa ala. And Allah does whatever he wants with all this system. And the human beings are so weak in front of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does. So How people can misbelieve. This is why Allah is asking in the Quran. You don't see your own life. How can you misbelieve? How can you misbelieve? Allah does what He wants. Like the Prophet ﷺ is calling a tree. He's calling a tree. The hadith is sahih. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the tree walk. The tree is walking toward the Prophet ﷺ. And the Prophet is asking, Man ana? So who I am? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this tree talk. The tree was talking and saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu annaka Muhammadan Rasulullah. So the tree made that shahada. So how much Allah is in control of the universe, of our lives. No matter who you are, no matter you believe, you don't believe, you're under the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're rich, you're poor, you're under the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your kingdom, your wealth cannot get you out of the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like somebody has a lot of money, but look at, he has no control of, he gonna have kids or not. He has no control. He has no control. Okay, he have only boys, I want a girl. I want a girl now. He has no control. The one who decides is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Jalla wa ala. And in our lives also, of course, we are not like we are not prophets, so we're not gonna have big miracles. But in our life, you can see also. One of the brother was saying to me how he got his permanent residence. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's against all the means. Sometimes we see, oh, the system of Canada, oh, it's too perfect. You cannot. No, he really got his permanent residence. He has no paper. He has no passport. When he gave some paper like this, he was making dua. When they were giving him his permanent residence, they watch in the system. They say, with that paper, you had your permanent residence. He said, yeah. They say, it's impossible. Even them, they were shocked. But the one who is deciding is who? Is Allah. So all the humanity is in the control of Allah. This is what the Sahaba, they understood. Before the Salat was obligatory, before the fast was fard, the Sahaba, they understood that. This is why after their Salat was making with so much concentration, because when you understand who is that Allah, when you pray is different. When you understand who is that Allah, when you make dua is different. When you're fasting, this taqwa, this fear of Him is there. But the one who don't know who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, how is going to be his salat or his fasting. It also come in the Quran, Sulaiman alayhi salam used to sit with one poor guy. Always they are sitting together. And people were saying, why you sit with that poor guy? And Sulaiman alayhi salam said, you don't know him. When Sulaiman wanted to have the throne of the Queen Belkis, he wanted to have the throne, he said, who bring me? The throne is at a lot of kilometers, like more than hundreds and hundred kilometers. Who is bringing me the throne of Belkis? So like the Quran say, there is a jinn that say, before this afternoon, before you get up from your chair, I'm going to bring the throne. And this poor guy say, no, before you, comment on dit, on cligne des yeux? You? The blink of one eye, before the blink of one eye, I'm going to bring you the throne. And Suleiman is like, go. And before the blink of one eye, this guy brought the throne with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah give us tawfiq to know Him and understand Him. So also every night, inshallah, with Sheikh, we have the biography of the Prophet in all the language, French, English, and Arabic. We request the brother to be here, inshallah.